Hey guys, welcome back to Through the Screen. I'm Charlotte.
I'm Erika.
I'm Emily.
We hope you've been enjoying our episodes so far, liking, commenting, and sharing with your friends. If you missed any of them, head on over to our channel and watch, and if you're not already, be sure to subscribe while you're there. This week we will be bringing you a short and sweet episode consisting of the latest Taiji updates, our thoughts of this week's Dancing with the Stars, and a special treat at the very end of this episode. So we hope you'll follow us once again as we join together via Skype to bring you conversations through the screen.
Thankfully, this week so far in Taiji has consisted of all Blue Cove days. We will of course share the rest of this week's updates in the next episode, but until then, be sure to follow the Dolphin Project's live Twitter updates as well as the live streams, which will be linked below. And as always, be sure to share what's happening in Taiji with those around you to help spread the word. Also, a quick reminder that Before the Flood, Leonardo DiCaprio's 2-year journey to discover the facts on climate change is currently available on YouTube as well as other streaming platforms, and the Ivory game will be on Netflix this Friday, November 4th. All information on these two documentaries will of course be linked below.
This week on Dancing with the Stars, it was Halloween night, and we were lucky enough to see our contestants perform individual dances as well as a dance-off where America gets to pick a winner live on the show. We had perfect scores, creepy covers, and a few movie-inspired dances. So what did you guys think about this week's show, starting with Tara and Sasha, who did a cha-cha inspired by the movie Beetlejuice?
So for me, at first, when I saw that they were going to attempt a cha-cha on a table, I was kind of like, oh my god, is this really how they're going to do the entire dance on top of the table? Because it's like a signature in Beetlejuice. And they actually, only did a few, quick moves on the table and then got off of it. But I thought it was too much into the production of the dance. Like, it was too much overdone with the Beetlejuice, and I understand it was a Halloween episode, so it's gonna be overdone, but I would have liked to have seen a bit more dancing, I guess, is the word, because I felt like they spent a lot of time wasted on the story, and they weren't actually, dancing. There was, a good 15 seconds in the beginning where she's not dancing, she's, walking to a table, and then sitting at a table, and then, that's how I felt, so... But I felt like the cha-cha that she did do was really good, and I would have liked, like I said, a little bit more.
I liked it. I love the movie Beetlejuice, but I do see what you're saying about how it was a lot of the movie and there was a lot of stuff on the table and things like that, but what they did do I think was good. I think it was a cute and fun dance, and I liked the hand at the end, very Beetlejuice-esque. But yeah, it was actually one of my favorites of the night. But yeah, I liked it.
Well, I thought the song choice was great, but the set was a little weird in the dancing. The end also had me wide-eyed because the acting was not on point when she was, scared. And her, I was okay, that's so bad. But I feel the same as Charlotte and Emily, with too little dancing, more set focused. So next, Lori and Val did a waltz inspired by Willy Wonka.
So for me, when Val got emotional in the package at the beginning, you could tell how much he really cares about Lori and how much he really wants to do the best that he can for her. And I really wound up feeling for him because you don't actually see the pros break down that much. And I feel like when they do, they always come back bigger and better, and this was no exception. This dance was amazing. It was elegant. She just has this ability to flow across the dance floor. So Erica, I and Em have all pointed out that sometimes she sometimes mistakes who actually is the pro in the duo because she's that good, and she basically shines through with every step. And during Julianne's remarks, Val's face actually brought me to tears to my eyes. He really, honestly was he should be so proud of this dance. I felt like it was amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was really, really nice to see Val's vulnerability in the package. That made me feel a little bit emotional. And speaking of emotion, I love Pure Imagination. Like, every time I hear it, I just have all these feelings. I love that song. And it was a really nice cover. But yeah, I thought it was really beautiful and elegant, and she's such a professional. She's so good at what she does. Like, her lines and everything was it was very beautiful, and I think definitely deserving of a perfect score, and it was also one of my favorites of the night.
So this dance reminded me a lot of a Disney movie, and I thought it was absolutely beautiful, and I could watch the dance over and over and over. So I was for sure a fan of this week's dance.
So did either of you guys catch the part where it comes back from the break and they're doing the dance viral video that's kind of gone crazy lately? I thought it was so awesome that they were doing that. I was like, yes, because I like it. So I'm sorry.
Sometimes
throw that in there.
Sometimes I don't like when people feed into popular culture because I don't really like what's the new viral thing nowadays. But I mean, they're trying to be very contemporary. I get that. It was nice, but no.
I guess I stand alone on that one.
Next, we have Mary Lou and Derek, who did a Spider Queen inspired tango.
So, I mean, they didn't need the two couples on the side because I didn't even watch them at that part. I concentrated on the white webs next to them in the beginning, and again, same thing happens every week. Me and Em always point this out. She has this strong momentum in the beginning. You think she's got it, and then by the end, it's completely gone. It's just gone. There's nothing left. You're just like, what the hell did I just watch? It started out so good, and it just ends so bad. And she just becomes so stiff, and she even hit Derek in the head with her arm in this dance. I was like, what is going on right now? This is a hot mess.
Well, I didn't feel that strongly, but yes, she does, she goes through waves, as we always say. I just have to say I love the songs this week. The cover of Sweet Dreams Are Made of These was so good. And I think, she had some good parts, but overall I think it was shaky because I think she really is in her head a lot, and she does go through waves. There were some obvious mess-ups, like the one where she hit him in the head. It was right there on the camera. But I mean, the weird thing is that I watched all of these dances again today, and I liked them better. So I liked this dance a little bit better today, but when I first watched it, I was just like, no.
So this week, for Mary Lou and Derek, it was actually my favorite dance of the night, and I don't think I've been a fan of them before, so that was kind of shocking. I may have been like, oh, I liked it, it just wasn't my favorite kind of thing, but I loved it. I thought the dance was simple but beautiful, and the lifts and spins worked really well with the set and the song pick. Next, we have Calvin and Lindsay, who did a skeleton-inspired quick step.
So, to me, quick step is one of the hardest dances to do because it is such a fast pace. But Calvin not only kept the pace, very similar to Lori, he has this ability to flow across the floor. And for me, I saw absolutely nothing wrong, so I wasn't surprised when he got a perfect score.
It's funny because I actually was not a big fan of his this week. Maybe it's just the style. Maybe I'm just not super into the style, or maybe it was the theme that they did, or the song. I wasn't as much of a fan of the song as I was the other songs that were done. But I mean, it was good overall, and I think he definitely did have the technique. And he's super light on his feet. I always make that comment. But it just wasn't my favorite of his dances. But of course, he still is one of my favorites.
So I loved this week's dance. I thought it was a lot of fun, but however, I felt like they were behind at some points towards the end, but overall, really well done. Next, we have Jana and Gleb, who did a jazz routine inspired by Little Shop of Horrors.
So, as they both know, like, I love jazz. I'm a huge fan of jazz, and it's usually my favorite dance of the night. But for me, this was a little bit of a letdown. They seem to repeat the same steps on either side of the wall, almost like Gleb couldn't be bothered to look into more jazz steps than those in the lifts. Something that I barely did when I did jazz for 10 years was lifts. So I was like, why is there all these lifts? I did gymnastics, yes, but no lifts. So Jenna throughout shined. But I almost felt bad that I hated the routine so much because it really wasn't her fault. Clearly, I disagreed with the judges.
So I agree with Charlotte on this one. I think the moves were really repetitive. I think it was fun and energetic, and for the most part, it flowed well. But I feel like at some points they were trying to do a little bit too much, especially at the end. There was like move after move after move after move, and I get that they're trying to like wow the audience and everything, but I think it just got to be a little bit too much and just a little bit repetitive.
Well, yeah, I feel like if the moves had been different, we would be saying something different. But they were the same moves over and over again. True. They were just, kept doing them really fast. Make it look like they were, like, contributing more, I feel the same way.
Yeah, that is how it felt to me as well.
So at first, I wasn't a fan of the dance at all. But I'm opposite to these two because I thought the flips and lifts were a fun touch to it. I don't know, I think, because I used to love gymnastics when I was, like, younger and stuff, so I think just that, because I'm always like, whoa, cool. I think that's what got me, because I even wrote in my notes that I ended up liking it because of that touch. If I didn't have seen those, I would have been like, oh, I don't like it. Because I don't think jazz is my favorite. Not because they suck or anything. It's just jazz. Finally, James and Jenna did a waltz inspired by the film Suicide Squad and won immunity.
So for me, this was my favorite dance of the night. It was absolutely flawless. I saw the same chemistry he has with Sharna, with Jenna, and I felt like exactly like Julianne. I was so blown away. I was like, I love this dance. It's awesome.
I did too. I felt so bad for Sharna because she seemed, very sad that she couldn't be with him and possibly won't be with him for the rest of the competition. But I think it's crazy how James and Jenna were able to get this chemistry in the short amount of time that they had. And I love the song that they did. I love the cover of it. I thought it was so cool. And I think it was interesting because it was both creepy and sweet at the same time. So there's just this kind of combination of like feelings. I think he really got into the character, and I just think they did a really great job, and I think they deserved immunity.
I hated this dance.
I knew you would. I knew it.
I absolutely hated it, and that's all I'm going to say. Next is a dance-off. Lori versus Calvin, Jive. Jana versus Tara, Salsa. And Mary Lou versus Ryan, Cha-Cha.
So, first off, I guess we'll start with the Jive. The only mistake I saw was Calvin and Lindsay at the end, but I felt like Lori had a slight edge throughout, and I wasn't surprised by the outcome.
Yeah, I think Lori had more energy overall, and I think that's why she won, so I wasn't surprised either.
So I wasn't really a fan of the dance-offs, like none of them, but yeah, I don't know. Just didn't like it.
Well, for Jenna and Gleb and Tara and Sasha, they did the salsa, and I felt like what the judges said was right on. They were really tight, and Bruno disturbed me a bit. But again, I wasn't surprised by the outcome.
Yeah, I was a little bit torn on this one because I think that Jana had more technique, but Tara had more energy. So they both had good components, I guess. But yeah, I think I agree with the outcome as well of Jana winning.
And then finally we had Ryan and Charlotte and Mary Lou and Derek and they cha-cha'd, and it was clear that Mary Lou and Derek are the weakest couple at this point in the competition. I think Ryan fell off the stage at one point, though, so I was like, what's going on there?
Yeah, I was very neutral about this dance. I honestly didn't, like, I don't know, these two are actually my least favorite of the competition, so I was just kind of like, it doesn't really matter who wins to me. But I will say that I was upset with the results because I definitely think that Mary Lou should have gone home before Ryan. So when they said that Mary Lou was safe, she was the first one that was safe. I was like, what?
I was too.
I was like, who's going then?
I was like, somebody I like is going to go home and this stinks. And then I saw Sasha and Tara were in the bottom too, and I'm like, no, this is not.
I wanted them to go home.
Because you like Ryan and Cheryl.
Ryan and Cheryl.
I don't like Tara and Sasha. I don't like them. It was like 2 dances that I liked.
Well,
they deserve.
I like Tara and Sasha better than Ryan and Cheryl, so I was happy with that.
I was too.
But
that was like my Nyla and Peta.
If I had to choose, it would have been Mary Lou and Derek.
I agree, but there's always next week. If they survive another week, I don't know.
I don't know, because Derek has such a huge following that they just might.
That's true. I didn't really think about that. I guess I was thinking maybe she has like a big fan base that I wasn't thinking of, but maybe it is Derek.
Derek has a huge fan base.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised at all if that plus her fan base is what is keeping them basically in this competition, because their scores are so low at this point. Their dancing is not up to par.
It's not consistent.
And it's not semifinalist material, that's for sure.
Nope. But I guess we'll see. I think that's the first shocker I've had, because I think all the other ones weren't. Except Jake was a little
expected.
Jake was a little bit shocking to me, only because I thought he had a big fan base, but other than that, I wasn't shocked with anybody. But now I was.
So we hope you enjoyed our thoughts on this week's episode of Dancing with the Stars. As always, leave your comments below, where we will also put the links to how you can watch all the dances. Stay tuned for a special treat at the end of the episode, and be sure to join us next week for Showstoppers Week, as well as a brand new topic. Until then, thanks for watching, stay informed, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Take it away, Charlotte.
What am I taking away?
So, whoa.
Whoa, okay.
I was burnt to my face.
What? Actual tears.
Mirror. I like to see myself.
Alright.
Mirror.
People would be like, ah.
How?
People would pounce on it.
One more time? One more time, Charlotte? Ah!
This week we bring...
Oh, dang it, Charlotte!
Stop that part. I'm Charlotte.
I'm Emily.
Was that real? I'm Emily. Alright, right now, go.
Go?
Yeah.
Start. No.
You told me to go to the bathroom.
I meant go. I meant start.
I think we have lost her to the dark side, people. I
I can't with you guys.